Welcome guys to the brand new Path of Exile Keepers of the Flame new players walkthrough and beginner guide. So let's go ahead and create a character, and we'll go through the full walkthrough beginner's guide for someone that's never played Path of Exile. This is not going to be a quick little 10-minute video. It is the full walkthrough. So my suggestion is throw this on another monitor and just follow side by side. Path of Exile is a game that is very, very difficult for a beginner, but I'm going to walk you through everything. I'm going to include a bunch of timestamps also for the video and also for the build guide. For every single act, I will have a dedicated planner that goes over kind of the gear that you should look for, as well as the passive tree specifically from like Act 1 to Act 2, and it'll be really easy to follow along. So check the description pin. There's going to be tons of content there. But let's go ahead and straight up just get started. So we're going to go ahead and lock in with Keepers over here. So at the very beginning, you just hit Create New Character. That's kind of normal. And you want to make sure you do not check in any of these boxes. They'll make the game more difficult for you. So just click Keepers, hit OK. And then we're going to go ahead and create a Ranger. Later, if you want, you can make a different character, but I would really suggest just roll with this one, get to the end game, farm a bunch of stuff, because this is going to be a really fast farmer, and we're going to get lots of good gear fast, and then we can play whatever we want after. Sometimes they call these league starters. So we're just going to go call this character, and we'll name it like Keepers. This way I know like it's for this league, because it kind of helps out, honestly, if you play this game quite frequently. But there's going to be a lot of new players here, so it just kind of helps out. So we're going to go ahead and start off with our brand new character. And let's go ahead and I'm going to hit skip all the tutorials, but I'll kind of mention how the game works. So in the very beginning, go to options here. This is actually a very big deal. There's one thing in the UI that I really recommend everyone to do. Landscape transparency. Look at the top right here. Make this all the way down, and the map transparency, you can adjust it to your liking, but map zoom all the way out. So the two recommendations, other than doing your own keybinds, options, UI, landscape transparency. This clears up clutter, and then this lets you see more of the map. So those are the two recommendations that are like pretty much 99% of the players will use. The rest of stuff, it's kind of up to you. Make your own hotkeys. I like to use Q for movement. Sometimes people like left click to move only. Change your settings. So in the very beginning, you're going to left click on the bow, or I don't know, X or whatever it is on console. So in the very beginning, we're going to go ahead and shoot this guy, and now we have a bow. He's going to drop a gem. So how this game works, you don't unlock skill points as you level up. You unlock gems. You're going to left click the gem, put it in the green. So the green gem goes in the green hole. And now we have a new skill. Rebind it to whatever you prefer to use for your button pushing over here. All right. And if you get some armors, it may automatically apply. So just like Diablo, you have mana potions, life potions, and all of this stuff. Did they update the graphics in PoE 1? As far as this league, they update this game quite frequently. I didn't read anything in the patch notes for graphics, but I don't know. I mean, the game always looked fine to me, but I don't know, I'm a boomer when it comes to video games and this. So tab will open up the mini-map just like in Diablo, if you ever played Diablo, or maybe like Wolfen. But yeah, we're going to go through the full beginner's guide and walk through everything. Oh, there's a dead end over here. So if you hit tab, you can open up the map. Your potions, by the way, they don't refill over cooldown. They refill over getting kills. And sometimes they also kind of change up the map on every single league to make it a little bit interesting. You will always find a large chest that will always have momentum support. You're going to put this inside over here. See how they have a link? That means our momentum support will get a bonus now when we use our burning arrow over here. Oh, that game before was called Nike Mystic, if that's what you're wondering. And then, yeah, just pick up basically anything that you see. Right now, we don't have a loot filter. We'll talk more about loot filters and all these other things later. But just start killing stuff as you move along. This is a very beginner-friendly class. I think ranged in general is just so much better than anything else to recommend. And now we have one of the elites over here. So we're going to attack him. He's a unique. But it's really easy for this build. The very first boss in like PoE 1 is like incredibly hard, but in PoE 2 it's like really hard. PoE 1 is so chill. So we're gonna pick up everything, and then if you don't have room, don't worry about it. Just we're gonna go from the Twilight Strand, which is the area. If you hit tab, it'll tell you the name of the area, and you go into Lionized Watch, which is basically Act 1 and Town 1. And also, really quickly to mention, there's going to be a bunch of timestamps inside of the pinned, and it'll tell you all of the important quests here. So now we're going to go up, and any NPC with an exclamation mark, you just click on them. Usually they have some sort of quest to give you or a reward. And this guy's going to give us a reward. So we can pick Split Arrow, we can take Ice Shot, we can take Frost Blades, we can take Galvanic Arrow, or we could keep the item that we have. I actually don't really mind having Galvanic Arrow because it does fire more arrows, or you could take Split Shot. It's kind of up to you. This build, by the way, guys, any sort of elemental or physical will be a-okay. So if you want to select Ice Shot or Split Arrow, it's totally fine too. I'm just going to select Galvanic because I kind of like it. So now we have a passive tree. Now this is where the game gets kind of overwhelming for a lot of beginners. Again, I will have this located for you guys in the pin, in the description. But basically it goes over exactly the areas that we get in the very beginning. This is all just for Act 1 too, man. So let's go ahead and, again, P as in penguin. You can open up the passive tree point at any time. You can save these points if you want to, maybe for certain intervals. Sometimes people like to save certain things because they're waiting for an item to come up online, because refunding costs gold. So in the very beginning, we're just going to get this increased projectile damage. It also gives us accuracy, which is our chance to hit. So in this game, you have a chance to miss targets. So our character is going to be based on evasion, so we can swap to this if we want to. I want to swap to this specifically because it's linked over here. So if they're linked, they can get those bonuses. Now we have Galvanic Arrow. I'm going to right-click on Momentum and put it in here. If you prefer to run Burning Arrow, it's totally fine, but I just think Galvanic Arrow is way better. So we can still use the other skill if we want to on bosses. It's not actually bad. It's better than Galvanic Arrow. So you can still equip the Burning Arrow. And then we're going to go to Nessa. But again, make sure that your link, if you just happen to have Galvanic Arrow and Momentum, because like I got lucky and this one has a red socket that I will probably use later. But for now, we just want these two links. So if you don't happen to have two green links, just keep your regular bow that they give you. But we're going to look out for a better bow as well. So we're going to go sell items. If we hold control and we left click, it's going to put our items in here and it's going to trade with the vendor. So in this game, there is gold, but how most of the vendors work, you sell items for what's called currency, and all of these can do certain items. So five items will turn into specifically a Scroll of Wisdom, which can be a Scroll of Identity if you've ever played Diablo. And then what we can also do is we can check the NPCs. There's a lot of times where they will have items that we want. Like, for example, in the very beginning, iron rings are super, super amazing. But you can check out if there's any other items that you would want. I'm going to pick up an iron ring here because that 1 to 4 damage is really good. But I can also go to the other NPC, which is Tarkly over here, and I could check out if he has any bows. Now this one is 3 green, but this, see how it's not linked? That's not going to help us here. We could also maybe look out for boots with specifically movement speed. Wow, this is incredible. We get boots with movement speed at this early stage of the game. Heck, that is amazing. So we're going to pick up that instead. And then now what we're going to do is, I do still also want that iron ring, so we're going to eventually get that. But we're going to trade it for a scroll fragment. Again, 5 of any like trash items will at least give you scroll fragments if it's just like a non-magic item. So anyways, from here, now the next step is to go to the coast. But if you can find boots with movement speed, that's excellent. But yes, this is PoE 1, Cairo. PoE 1. So now we're going to go from the coast over here. I have a little sheet that tells me kind of timestamps for where we should be. Now, Galvanic Arrow is a lot shorter ranged over here, but that's the trade-off. It kind of sprays in a cone pattern, which is going to help out with clear speed. That's why I kind of recommend taking this one earlier on. And our gems are about to level up. So you'll see on the right side, we have a bunch of gems that will level up very soon. So what we're looking for is specifically this quest over here that's the medicine chest. So if you click on this, it's going to upgrade it, which is going to give us extra damage with these skills. Well, this guy does a lot of damage, so kind of be careful. A lot of times in PoE, it's kind of like you attack and then you move. Well, that guy does a lot of damage, like incredible amounts. So you don't want to stand inside of the AoE, but it's kind of just like shoot and move. You'll see this be a very common thing in the game. So we'll just attack and kind of move. Oh, he has got Flame Dash too. But basically, you don't want to sit in the AoE. Take this guy down over here. And then for some of the like elites, we can just use Burning Arrow because it's going to burn them. And it's probably just going to be better. We got a quiver. That's awesome. So I think we have a Scroll of Identity here. And in the very beginning, like I said, just pick up everything and you're going to sell it for gold. So we're going to identify the quiver and we're going to get some extra damage and some extra HP. But we have to be level 4. And right now we are level 2. If you get Seasoned Cat, you can open your character sheet and it'll kind of tell you like the damage and stuff for like your skills, which is really helpful. Did they add daggers yet? Oh, this is PoE 1. So yeah, if you're talking about PoE 2, we don't have like the assassin class yet, which is probably when we would get the daggers to answer your question. How do I compare this? Ooh, nice. There's a nice little ring, gives us extra damage. If I was to compare this to PoE 2, I actually like PoE 1 way more. Ooh, this is a brand new mechanic, so let's try it out. Some of these, by the way, they're so hard in the very beginning that you don't want to do these. Oh wow, we got our first brand new mechanic.
Now test your new self.
Okay, so graph locker direct. Oh, this is for decoration. It's like skin.
Good to see you here.
Okay, so now we have to do the Hiveborn. Okay, we're gonna skip the dialogue here. Oh, this is just a. Does it to go in here? I'm not actually sure how this works. This part of the section is brand new. They never really show this off. But as far as comparing this to answer your question from PoE 1, we're actually gonna go back because I thought that was part of the mechanic of the new thing. It's actually not. But what we're going to do is we're looking for specifically once we're at the coast. This is a waypoint, by the way. It's just like Diablo's like waypoint system. Nothing new here. But from the coast, we want to go to specifically the Tidal Island. This is a optional quest that will give us a Quicksilver Flask, which is basically a potion that gives us more movement speed. But like I said, going back to your question about like comparing this to PoE 2, I feel like this game is way more enjoyable because you can go way faster. PoE 2 is very stingy with movement speed. I would say most people that play PoE like PoE 1 more, but they play PoE 2 because it's a new hot thing, right? When there's a new update. But I like both of the games. I think both of the games feel definitely a little bit different. PoE 2 feels really good for like the combat in terms of like the hit, which is excellent. But now we have another skill point. We're going to get extra damage over here and increased attack speed, so the game feels way better. And as you progress, you'll get some items, and you might want to identify them, like this gloves over here. Boom, cold resistance. That's good. So this boss is actually one of the more difficult bosses in the game because he can freeze you. So we're going to attack, move. And eventually that like hand that we got, we'll be able to use this and make our character more powerful, but it's going to be some sort of thing where it's going to take time. Again, just pick up like whatever in the very beginning. And this item is going to be used, because now we're going to go from the Tidal Island back to the other area, and we're going to use the waypoint to go back to town instead of using a portal scroll. Now, in the very beginning of the league, when there's a brand new season, sometimes the servers are lagging and it's not good to escape, because you can go to character selection screen and respawn in town and you save yourself a town portal. It's only used in the first few hours of the game, but later we'll use portal scrolls. But now what we're going to do is we're going to click on the waypoint and we're going to go back to Lion Eyes Watch. If you see that there's a little house icon, that indicates that it's a town, so we can go here and sell things to the NPCs. And we're going to turn in this, and it's going to give us a Quicksilver Flask as a reward. So you can choose one of these, but Quicksilver Flask 100%, you want that one. And then we can also get another support gem here. I really like what's called Mirage Archer, and I'll show you guys how cool this one is. It's one of my favorites. This one's also really cool if we take Ice Shot, and I'll show you guys a lot of the things. I'll swap a bunch of skills, and you can choose the one that you enjoy, because that's kind of subjective. And for the most part, it really doesn't matter in the very beginning which one you are using. I'm going to sell all these items that I'm not going to be using. And see, this is increased spell damage. We don't really need that. But energy shield, I mean, it's like whatever. It doesn't really matter because I don't have the requirements in it. So we can also identify this. We have extra accuracy. I mean, honestly, both these are pretty bad, so it doesn't really matter. We're going to get rid of that. We have another potion. Unfortunately, in this game, you cannot equip unidentified items, so we'll identify that. Now we have 3 life potions, and then we also have 1 mana flask over here. So now what we're going to do is we can, again, talk to the NPCs. And they will give you sometimes some rewards, or they'll tell you very specific quests. But I'm here to show you guys all the important quests. Now we're going to go back from the waypoint. We're going to go back to the coast. And from the coast, we are going to go to the top and go to Tidal Island here. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Tidal Island. We're going back to where we actually went to before. We need to get level 4 for that. But yeah, that was the quest that we did that gives us the Quicksilver Flask, which we already have. Now we go to the Mud Flats here. And inside of the Mud Flats, we're going to be looking for 3 seashells. You'll see that there is these yellow exclamation marks on the top right from the minimap, as well as if we hit tab. What this does is it shows us where we need to go for the quests. So green items are quest items, like that medicine chest that we picked up. So there's a ton of optional quests, and some of them will give you some random reward, which we don't really care about. But the ones that give you skill points, we are 100% going to be doing all of those. Now we're gonna click on the Rose Nest. We're gonna grab another seashell. There's a total of 3 seashells to collect. This is brand new, this little thing. I don't know if this pauses the game. It might. Yeah, okay, it does pause the game. It used to not. It was an update. Anyways, get more attack speed over here. You can get projectile damage, but I like making the game feel good, and making any action RPG feel good comes down to getting lots of attack speed in the very beginning. So this is a new mechanic. Some of these mechanics may be too hard, and it's the first time that I'm doing these. I guess we just kind of walk through. Wow, that thing has a lot of HP. And if you run out of mana, it's fine. In the very beginning, sometimes mana can be kind of rough, so if you have to swap to another skill, it's totally fine. Like, you might have to go back to your basic default attack for a little bit, because the mana cost is simply too high. What's this little exclamation mark? Oh, that's that. Oh, wow, the quest can still be inside of this, so we had to go here. Okay, so this wasn't too bad for difficulty. Can we equip the mana flask? Let's identify this. Nice, now we have 2 mana flasks. But remember, I have to kill stuff. Summon Alioth. Okay, let's see if this is going to be super hard as a boss or something.
The center. I can destroy this rift. I just
Oh, we have
need
to protect her.
Defend me
Okay.
while I focus my will.
All right, let's do it. So yeah, we'll let you know if this is worth doing, because this is the new league mechanic, and honestly, like a lot of leagues, sometimes it's not even worth it to do this in the very beginning. Oh, give her a shield. Oh, so we can give her a shield. That's kind of cool. So this is brand new. It looks like we're kind of playing some sort of like defense mode. Oh wow, this is getting pretty dangerous actually. Looking at how many monsters are coming out. And whenever you get a passive point, you can open up this thing right now. Yeah. Again, the skill tree will be in. Oh, she's getting attacked quite a bit. Wow, that's ridiculous. Okay, is this worth doing? Okay, Horn Skull. What's this quest item? This is brand new. No one knows about this. Can go graft into the Genesis tree. Okay, and then we have a robe over here. Let's see if this robe is going to be good. Oh, I don't have enough items, so we're gonna have to pick up trash to go get items. Sometimes you can move your items as well, and you can only hold so many flasks. So you have 5 total that you can select. Let's go equip this as well. Now that we've unlocked that, maybe we can pick up more trash. What's this mystery of the? Oh, Monastery of the Keepers. This is all brand new. No one knows about this stuff yet because it's brand new. But yes, this is PoE 1. The big claim to fame, like, oh, what's the new mechanic? Oh, we're about to see it right now, and it's brand new, man. I'm excited. So, go talk to the NPC, and we'll probably activate something. Ooh, okay, so we have 10 points. Birth graphs have rarity. Okay. So what we're going to invest into, do I have to put something in here? I'm not actually sure how this works. Just put that in. Oh, that costs like points or something. Okay. So, I guess you can build into certain things. Okay, so I want to invest into the currency womb over here. So, let's try this. Oh, do we have to? We can only put it into this one right now? Or how does it work? I don't know. Maybe we have to put one to this. Okay, can I do this one? Because all I care about, and what most people care about, is currency. Oh, so I can only choose. You can only choose equipment, or the birth graphs. Oh, I think this is a graft, which is like our new like power thing. I actually kind of want to do the power thing more. I don't know exactly. It just says unallocated. This one says points left. So I guess we have to take equipment in the very beginning. They don't let you select something else. Okay, so you have to do this. Okay, so we can get birth, equipment, rolls, sockets, and links 10 times. Ooh, that could be pretty good, honestly, as well. Okay, I guess we just have 1 point to put in right now. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. And then eventually we're going to get like some items that will be spit out when we do this thing again and again. And we have like a locker to hold some of our items. Okay, cool. Well, looks like that's all we can do for now. This, I'll be honest, you probably don't get too much of a good result. Off the drops, it was pretty weak, but we'll wait and see. So we'll go ahead and keep it going over here. So, oh, it kicks us back out. Wait, that's kind of annoying. Can we go back to where we just were? Okay, if I go back to the monastery, does it? You can't just go exit from here? Oh, that's actually quite annoying. All right, so this is a really good tip. I promise you they'll update this and change it. But if we go into the little like area, right, the new monastery, it doesn't let you just go back to where you were, which is very, very annoying. That's really bad. Okay, so I probably wouldn't even recommend doing the newer league. And this is very common with Path of Exile, by the way. And it's good that I showed you guys how annoying that is, right? So now I have to walk all the way back. And if I just didn't go into the area, or maybe I can go to the areas later after, and that would probably be the smarter thing to do. But now, again, we're back in the mud flats where we have to pick up the seashells. And we have 2 of the seashells, I believe, right now. Oh, we got all 3, looks like. So now we're going to take all 3 of the seashells in the mud flats, and we're going to go to the caves now. Oh, yeah, there's no monk in PoE 1 to answer your question, yeah. Alright, so now we're going to click on this wall over here. It's going to put in all the seashells, and it opens up the submerged passage. But yeah, you can play this game with a controller to answer your question. Yeah, you could, if that's what your preferences are, go for it, man. Oh, another thing to mention, in the very earlier stages, if you do get a waypoint and you have like a bunch of stuff, you can go back into town. Like, again, it's the little like house icon, and then you can get rid of all of the items, and you can also check this guy for extra items. We now have Shrapnel Ballista. That's a reward. So we're going to go ahead and get the Shrapnel Ballista, and we can put it in like in our helmet or something. And then we also get Dash, so we can put this somewhere in. And now we're also going to sell all of our items. So we're going to sell, again, control click. Oh, actually this one we may keep just in case we get something good. Can maybe keep this as well. Maybe we'll get something good. I don't happen to have, do I have enough? I don't have enough yet. I need those Scroll of Wisdoms. Let's see if this one's any good. Okay, I can't use it unfortunately because I don't have the intelligence, so we'll just have to go get rid of it. So if we sell this though, we got Orb of Augmentation. So it's going to add another modifier to a magic item. Do I have anything good enough to modify? I don't really have anything good to add at the moment, but I'll show you guys what that does. So we did get that Mirage Archer support. I'm going to remove the Momentum support. I'm going to put in the Mirage Archer. And if you guys need to get any gems, like, because I'm going to be swapping gems quite frequently just to show you guys them, so don't feel like you have to copy exactly what I have. Use whatever you enjoy. If you go to the second tab over here, you can see there's just a bunch of gems. And if you want to know if they work with your character, there's support gems, and then there's the active gems. So active gems are like, let's say, the Galvanic Arrow. The support gem would be the Mirage Archer. It tells you at the top what it is, but if you're unsure if something works, if I mouse over this, you'll see there's a green little check mark next to Burning Arrow. That means that will work with said skill. So it really helps out, and maybe we can use Momentum with, let's say, the Shrapnel Ballista, and that it does work. So I'm going to move the Burning Arrow off, and I'm going to grab that Shrapnel Ballista, and I'm going to also put that Momentum support. Boom, now these are linked. But what we could also do is check to see if there's a better bow, because this is going to be our biggest DPS increase. 6 mana per enemy kill is actually quite nice, but that's the only thing that was there. And I do not have an Orb of Transmutation. Later we'll be getting a lot more of these, but sometimes if you can see an upgrade, go for it. Again, now we're going to go back to the waypoint, go back to the Submerged Passage over here. And we're just going to continue. And now if we activate what I have on number 3, which is our Quicksilver Flask, we get to go faster. And in Act 1, you actually want to try to get as much cold resistance as possible for the boss. So none of these items we can really use, but I'll pick them up just so we can sell them. So now you're seeing this little like thing above my head. That is our Mirage Archer support. Ooh, that's a nice little double green, and it's got a blue link too, which is cool. So I'm just going to attack, move. Remember that Shrapnel Ballista. I'm going to put it on my right click, and you guys can see how this works. It's kind of like a shotgun. A totem that shoots out a shotgun. Okay, this is our first essence over here. This is going to be cool, and I'll show you guys how this works. Okay, so what we're going to do on any of these is set up our bunch of turrets. We can have a total of 3 right now, and it's going to just summon some turrets, and it's going to kill stuff for us, which is awesome. And it also can tank for us, which is excellent. And anytime you have a skill point, you can just open up this. It'll pause the game for you now, which is excellent, because it used to not do that. But some elites can be quite difficult, and sometimes you can legitimately get an unlucky mod, and it actually becomes very difficult, and you might rip. But in this game, don't worry if you die during the campaign. It's much better that you run a build that has as much DPS as possible, and you may die a couple times in the campaign, but it's going to make your whole campaign experience much faster. This is also a brand new update in the brand new Keepers of the Flame League. We get to just click right here. It's going to upgrade all the gems at once. But we're not running Lightning Arrow yet. That will be something that unlocks later, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish you could start off with Lightning Arrow, but you could actually start off with Ice Shot too. Ice Shot is actually excellent for leveling. And then we have Dash over here. If I need to get kind of body blocked, I can use that to reposition myself, and it's excellent for that. But I'm hoping that we'll be able to upgrade our weapon here soon, because that's what ties all of our DPS. And we might mess around with Ice Shot very soon too, because I actually like Ice Shot for leveling as well. Galvanizer starts off a little bit better just for a couple levels, and Ice Shot is honestly quite nice once you can get like volley support. That's also a very nice thing to have as well. And then there's another one of these mechanics. Again, I'm not sure if I could recommend these. We're going to do a couple of these because it's the new league, and I know we got to see if the new league mechanic is worth doing. So far, I would say it's not, but sometimes it may require multiple tries. Like, look at these rewards. That's like terrible rewards, right? But the thing with any action RPG, you can't go off of like one trial of results. You got to do multiple. So what we're looking for in the submerged passage, there's actually 2 exits. The ledge is where you're supposed to go in terms of progressing the main campaign. And we still want to progress in the main campaign over here. However, what we want to focus in on is mainly the quests that are important so we can get extra bonuses as we progress. We have another passive point. This is going to give us extra projectile speed, extra damage here, which is excellent. And then also, these are going to be pretty nice. So it's going to give us strength and int, which is going to allow us to have our requirements. But for now, I don't have any items that I need that. But if you do, you can get that. We're going to get that point anyways. And later, we can respec. But for the sake of the game being a lot smoother, sometimes it's better to get that one. If you have a item that will give you bigger DPS, but I just don't happen to have like an item that requires the strength or int requirements, so it's not going to be useful for us. But yeah, what we're looking for is a quest called Dweller in the Deep, and it might be back over here. And sometimes you do have to backtrack. It's part of Path of Exile. Is like you gotta just sometimes get lucky with where you go. And so from the submerged passage, we are going to go to the flooded depths here. And then we're going to fight a boss. We also have our essence that we can use. So if I put this on a weapon, it's going to give us spell damage, which really doesn't help out. None of these stats really help our character out that much, but it's going to upgrade a normal item to a rare item. I'm going to show you guys what this does on this bow. Or we can look for another better bow. Let's do that real quick. I just want to show you guys how some of these things work. There's just so much to explain in Path of Exile. That's why like you need a full walkthrough guide. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sell all of our trash items before we fight this boss. Just gonna get rid of everything that we don't have any use for, really, because I like having the damage. And then we're gonna go to purchase items, and we're gonna see if he has any bows that give us more DPS. So this is 6 to 16. It's a small amount, but every single bit of damage counts for Path of Exile. Yeah, that's the best thing that they got. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and lock it and grab that. If you don't happen to get one of these, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. But now we're gonna go use this. So this is what's called essence. If you don't have one, don't worry about it. I just want to show you guys how it works. So we're going to right click on it and left click on it, and now it's going to give us +1 level of socketed bow gems. That's kind of cool. Adds lightning damage, that's crit strike chance. Hey, that's kind of cool. The increase of spell damage doesn't really help, but the increased level of the bow gems actually does help out. And so if I want to get any other skills, like let's say I wanted Ice Shot. Let's go to Ice Shot. I can just type it in, which is really helpful over here, and we can go get Ice Shot. The other thing that I really wanted to get was specifically that the volley. I like volley a lot, but I don't happen to have a scroll wisdom, so I'm gonna have to sell something to get that. So what we can do is we can sell. If I hold shift, I can just sell one of these. I just need 1 scroll fragment here, and then this way we can go purchase volley. Again, you don't have to do this. I'm just showing you guys the options. So I'm gonna put this in here, and then I'm also gonna put an Ice Shot in here just to show you guys what Ice Shot looks like if you prefer Ice Shot. So now we're going to use Ice Shot as our main skill. I'm going to remove Galvanic Arrow and remove the Mirage Archer support. Actually, these gloves are good too, since we can make a 3-link off of that, which is awesome. And then I'm going to... Oh, and you swap the bows here. Let's go do that. So again, now I've got Ice Shot, and this is volley support.
Hello.
And then I'm going to go sell this, because I don't need this. These gloves I'm going to keep. You can keep items in your inventory if you're thinking, like, maybe I can use this a little bit later. But yeah. Balo Whispers, how you doing, man? And now let's go continue now with Ice Shot instead of the other skill. And sometimes you may have to readjust your skills. And this is what Ice Shot looks like. But the reason why I didn't want to start off with Ice Shot is because without Volley, you only get 1 arrow, and it feels a little bit slow. Wow, this thing's costing so much mana, though. Let's upgrade all of them. What is that thing that's following us? That's actually quite rough for difficulty. And also, on the top right, you'll see it says monster level 6, we are level 7, and that's fine. Try not to be 5 levels over the area, otherwise you tend to run into a lot more XP penalty. But if you're doing the main quest line, you're going to have to do it anyways, but it's just a good reference to how slow or fast you're doing things. And it seems like the breach that we're doing is actually rewarding us quite a bit of XP, which is good. And again, don't worry about killing every single monster on screen when you progress in this game. Just attack and move, but if you see any items, pick them up. And we'll talk about loot filters and stuff later. Hello, Azo, how you doing, man? But yeah, if you see any of these gems, always level them up. Later, there are going to be times where we don't want to level things up. Because most of the time, leveling up equals more damage. But sometimes it can cost more mana, and you want certain things at special levels for very specific reasons. So now what we're going to do, we're going to summon a bunch of turrets. And this one will guarantee you one of those essences, which is the thing that I used on the bow. But we'll also use this on a ring very soon. And I'll show you guys what happens with it. So again, attack and move, and you will be A-okay. If you see some sort of debuffs, if you want to put your mouse over there, you can read them. Sometimes it's kind of hard, though. But now we are good, and we've killed that thing over there. And I have some portal scrolls I'm going to use. You can also log out in the game, but what we're going to do now is we can get rid of some of the stuff, if we had any, but I don't have anything. Now what we're going to do is we're going to check every single time we go back to town. We're also going to get a skill point reward. That's the boss, and that's the reason why we do this boss, by the way. He gives us a skill point as a reward. So you just get a book, you right click it. It's literally just like Diablo 2, if any of you guys played that. We're also going to get this extra damage with bows and stuff, and we're going to get extra movement speed soon. So if you need to check like what other items you can get, you can always check the NPC to see if they've updated their items, as they update about every single time you level. The thing that we're going to look for is specifically, we want a sapphire ring. We want 2 sapphire rings before we fight the final boss of this act. Unfortunately, we do not have the requirements, which is 3 scrolls of wisdom, so I could go sell some trash items or stuff, and we will eventually get those. But for now, I don't think we have anything else that we really want to save here, so other than these gloves, which are kind of nice. If we happen to get a, item that we can use with a blue support gem. And if you want to check what other support gems are here, you can also just type in sup, and that will be support, and you can see the support gems that may work for our build. But right now we don't have the room, but we actually have room for an amulet. Let's see if they have an amulet. So there is an amulet that we can get, extra regen. That one's not too bad. It gives us strength, so that could be requirements for our build as well. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go back from the flooded depths. I just made a portal. We're going to go back into the submerged passage. Because remember how I said there's 2 exits. One exit, which we just went through, which was the skill point quest, right? The other exit is the main area that we need to go to progress. And then we're going to keep on going. Am I done playing PoE 2? No. Just because I play PoE or PoE 2 or Diablo does not mean I'm done with any game. And there's not really any game that I'm going to say that like I'm never going to play again. I mean, some games I play once and like that's it. Like as far as action RPG goes, I'm going to continue playing Path of Exile and Diablo pretty much until they stop getting supported. Now about Wolfson, I don't know, man. If Wolfson 2 comes out, I'll play that game, man. But anyways, we're in the ledge now, and we're just going to keep on progressing in the ledge. Ooh, chain belt. We don't have a belt yet. So it's going to be nice to have. And since we just got an essence, that essence, what does it do? So every single different area that you put this essence in, it's going to do different things. So this one over here on belt, we get life recovery. Is that good? Not really, but to be honest, like I just want to get an upgrade. So it's just going to make it into a rare item that gives us extra stats. So we have extra HP, some resistances, and that's good. But ideally we look for sapphire rings, and then we're going to throw the essences on those, but they give you an okay amount of essence in this game while you're leveling. Again, we're going to get that. And the next, we can get extra attack speed and accuracy, or we can get that increased damage. I really like attack speed, to be honest. This one also gives you critical strike chance with bows, and also damage over time. Now, damage over time could be poison damage, but also could be the burning damage. Now, if you really like the Burning Arrow, you can continue playing Burning Arrow. The awesome thing with this build guide is that you can play any sort of thing that does not do chaos damage. So it could be physical, it could be elemental, which is excellent because it lets people do a lot more. This guy is so overtuned, and they really need to like nerf that guy. So he does an insane amount of fire dot damage if he hits you, but just keep on moving. He hopefully will not one-shot you, but if it happens, don't worry. He gets a lot of people, even some of the best PvE players, they die to him quite often. He chunked us out pretty hard, but we also have some boots here. Do we get movement speed? It's got life regen. I mean, it's got like nicer stats than our boots, but our current boots have movement speed. And in this game, movement speed is king when it comes down to progressing in the campaign. Act 1, by the way, will be the longest act that we do, but it will get faster, I promise, later. But you can also hold down W. Well, like what I have bound to W. It's whatever you bind your dash to. Definitely make sure you're able to use dash, because if you get surrounded, it helps out a lot, but it also just makes the whole campaign experience just much smoother. And so how we kind of use our skill kit, whatever skill that you prefer, whether it's ice shot, galvanic arrow, burning arrow, split shot, whatever is like your main damage skill, is pretty much all you really spam. And all you really need, unless you come up to like a yellow monster that doesn't die fast enough, and then my recommendation would be to use the turrets, the shrapnel ballista. Later we can drop the skill, but like for leveling, dude, it's so good because it just distracts the enemies, and now our damage is pretty solid. Grab that flask over here. You can also upgrade your flask by going up to the NPC, but usually it's way faster to just progress via just whatever it drops. So like this one, we have an extra life flask, we're going to swap that one. We got this medium flask, we're going to swap that one. This is a medium mana, we'll swap it with a small one. 3 small flasks will equal 1 bigger flask of the same type. We're going to come up to like kind of elite over here. We're going to go throw down this. So how this little like elite works is he summons these little like circles. Don't stand in those will do big damage, but it's okay. Like I said, Path of Exile is such a hard game. If you die and while leveling, it's not that big of a deal. Now if you're wondering what does accuracy do, that's your chance hit, you pretty much don't really need to invest into that, because most of the stuff as you progress will go into it. I heavily invest into attack speed because it makes the game feel better, but if you want to get the damage one, that's fine too. It's not that big of a deal. So what is this, level 6 area? Oh, we're level 9. We're like over leveled by quite a bit now. And I think that this is actually giving us quite a bit of XP. So I don't really get how this works. Is it just like we just fight off like a bunch of monsters? Ooh, that's a lot. That's a lot. The ice shot is doing excellent right now. Because how ice shot works, it hits an enemy, and then it sprays a cone of ice behind. And it is fantastic for leveling. Lightning arrow is really great too. That guy was like invisible. All right, what are the drops looking like? All right, we actually got some okay items. We got an alteration. Okay, I would say right now these are looking a lot better for doing. Like that gave us a lot better results. We got at least a yellow helmet. That's going to be better for us because it's giving us evasion and armor. So how the defenses work in Path of Exile, there's actually 3 kind of forms of defenses. And I say 3 kind of because there's so many special things with Path of Exile. So we go from the ledge, by the way, to the climb. But the 3 defenses that you obviously have HP, you also have energy shield, and there's also evasion. And there's also armor. So armor is going to reduce the amount of physical damage that you take. Evasion is going to make it so if you evade, you just take no damage. This is also what's called a shrine here. Sorry, there's like so many things to mention sometimes that like I'm going to be talking over kind of my other point because it's like it happens right now. So this is just like Diablo as far as shrines go. But going back to the explanation of the other forms of defenses. The energy shield is kind of like Diablo's energy shield. It's like it will take damage before your HP, but there's chaos damage that can bypass it. This is a monolith. You click on it, it's going to summon a bunch of monsters, and then we're going to kill them. The monster's going to be frozen in time. And then what happens is, once that time runs out, any sort of rewards, like that's like a chest, this is like a different chest reward over here, they will be able to be claimed after the time runs out. So ideally what you try to do is go as fast as possible and you kill all of the monsters that have like the reward. Honestly, what you want to look for is the currency one, and if there is one, I'll show you guys what that looks like, but in the very earlier stages, we don't have insane clear speed. But this league seems incredibly rewarding, oh my gosh. So whatever monsters that we killed during that Legion is what this is called, we get to fight them again and pick up loot. But yeah, the leveling seems really smooth this league, especially with that new breach mechanic. Oh, this guy's tanky. Okay, cool. We got an extra skill point. Put that in. And again, I'll have it in the pin in case I'm going too fast with this, but pretty much we're just progressing to the next little node. Open up that, see what we get. We got an incubator. Okay, so I can show you guys what this does, and we also got some gloves maybe. Ooh, we got some good gloves. We got 9 life per enemy killed, that's nice. And now we have what's called an incubator. And I'll show you guys what that does. So basically, it adds a incubated quality gem. So how it works is you put the incubator, and then once I kill 400 monsters, it will give me that reward. So we're gonna go click on this, and it's gonna spawn a bunch of monsters. And Ice Shot seems like it's really good, so I highly recommend Ice Shot. But what's also very good is Lightning Arrow, but we don't get to start off with Lightning Arrow. We'll get that later. And then see the rewards, boom. I mean, I like how that you just kind of kill monsters, and it just spawns like a bunch of loot at the very end. We don't really need to get this waypoint, but if you see the waypoints, it's like, man, might as well grab it. There's also a essence coming up, which is excellent. So we're gonna get this, and again, that converts a white item into a rare item, which is awesome. Oh damn, our damage is so good right now. I'm loving it. All right, I think we got another item to check out. This chest piece. Let's see. So see how now, if I swap to this, I'm going to lose out on my Shrapnel Ballista. And what are we getting though? We're getting a big chunky amount of armor, and we get regen. I would say that this is worth it. It's worth the swap. Now, again, our other skill is going to be like a lot. Our Shrapnel Ballista is going to be worse because it doesn't have momentum, but sometimes you got to give up the trade. By the way, if you also see a red, a green, and a blue linked, that is something that we can trade to the NPC for what's called a chromatic orb, which can alter the colors of the gems in your items. We'll talk more about that once we actually need to maybe change our colors of our gems. We already have 2 mana flasks over here, so we're good. What I like to usually carry, to be honest, is 1 life flask, like 3 movement flasks, and 1 mana flask. Because like even if you die, it doesn't matter because movement speed is again king when it comes to these games. Well, there's it's only 1 socket boots, though. I don't really like that it's 1 socket. I was gonna modify those potentially with like essence. So now we're gonna upgrade our quiver real quick. So we're gonna go upgrade this. Oh, that's this one. This one has +6 to life. So I can't use this one on this because it's not a white item. So we're gonna modify this white item. Now we get extra physical. We get life, lightning resist, cold res, oh, and 5% damage. Like look at all the extra bonuses we're getting. Very good, man. Nice little progression. And if you see any chests, you can click on them and open them up. It's like free loot. So now we're in the prison here. So there's what's called a trial of ascendancy in this area. It'll pop up eventually. And so these are used to activate and unlock our super class, what's called an ascendancy in this game, which we'll talk about once we get to it. Alright, we have one of these. Oh, is this like that little defense thing? I think that these are worth doing, though. These defense ones. The other ones we have to walk around and defend, I feel like it takes too long. But I really want to upgrade our, like, graft. Oh, this seems kind of dangerous. That's like a lot of monsters, to be honest, like, for this earlier stages. And then we close the breach, and then we get... Oh, we got a Jeweler's Orb. Okay. So it seems like these are definitely worth doing now. And let's see if we get an upgrade on this. Ooh, the reason why I like this one is because it is a armor evasion hybrid. It doesn't really have really good stats on it, but if it had like more sockets, I would be more inclined to do a reroll on it. But items also have chances for like the colors to match whatever type of defense that they're given. So energy shield will tend to give you blue, and it will require intelligence. The green will require dexterity, and that will be evasion. And then armor, which is red, will give you armor, and it'll have strength requirements for gear. So the gear kind of is related to the equipment, but it all makes sense in this game. It really does. Once you start playing the game more and more, you really respect the game's design decisions. So we're gonna get aspect links, so we get some more damage over here, and then we're also going to be looking at getting elemental damage. But I like to get this one fast because it's just the extra movement speed is nice, because you don't really get movement speed in this game very early on for free with a lot of different builds. I wanted that strong box. Okay, I guess we have to go walk a little bit around over here. Not purely related, but playing some D4 right now, trying out Dance of Knives, loving it, but for some reason there are a lot of goblins today. Oh, Are they doing a goblin event? I don't know if Diablo's doing that. Sometimes they have like a double goblin event, but that could be something. I know that there is a gift of the tree event that's going on, but there could be another event for Halloween. I was kind of locked in with PoE today, but I mean, don't worry, I'll still be playing Diablo. I love both games. Alright, let's go ahead and open up this. Now, you can identify it, but I'm not going to identify it. Now, it is dangerous sometimes not to identify it because you can get something where it just, like, explodes the corpses and you just die instantly. Or if you get unlucky, and the one that's going to get you killed is, like, freeze. If it just freezes you as soon as you open it up, it is no fun. But that's just like Path of Exile. Later, you're going to get immunity to freeze, but freeze is the most dangerous mod that you can get when it comes to opening up a strong box that you don't know what the mods are. If I use a scroll of identity, it will tell me what the negative sides are when I open up the chest. Pick up some yellow items, we can identify them to get different forms of currency, and pick up anything that is in this golden text. Pick that up. We'll talk more about a loot filter later, but I want to play the whole thing from like a new player's perspective here. So we're going to go to the upper prison eventually, but what we want to find inside of the lower prison so we don't have to come back is part of our Ascendency. It unlocks our super class, which for us is going to be called the Deadeye, which is honestly one of like the bigger classes that people play every single season. In PoE 1 and 2, this is like the most popular class in a lot of leagues. I think we're going to go this way. We have to get to this area over here. And so what that is giving us our super class. So it's kind of like a little puzzle mini game. So if you click on this, it's going to like have a little, if you click on this, it's going to give you like a little like a cool little quote, sometimes like a little bit of philosophy in there, but it's cool. So how this works is it's kind of like a mini game where you're supposed to run and not get hit by the spikes. There's also these little areas where these barrels are so you don't take damage. We're gonna hit this lever and want to go back, and we're gonna wait for the spikes to go through. And if the spikes hit you, you will not die, but as soon as you get hit by the spikes, it's gonna do big damage and you're gonna want to pop a potion. And it also keeps you in place, so it will make it so you can't move if you get hit by the spikes, but it's not that big of a deal. Also, a lot of these you can cheat the system, and I'll show you guys how to cheat it. So this activates in like a cross pattern, so it's going to activate right here, then it's going to go back over here. If I just use dash, I can just go up. Now, if I do it properly, I'm supposed to wait, and I'm supposed to kind of go in a checkered pattern, but you can just dash across, and it's OP. Honestly, I feel like they shouldn't let you do that, but it works, so might as well take advantage, and I'll show you guys how to play the game the smart way. A lot of these puzzles can sort of be skipped by specifically doing that. Oh my gosh, we got a longbow. Nice. Now, our current bow is actually pretty good, considering it gives us 2 to 11 extra damage, but this is a 3 link and it's 8 to 33. Let's identify this, see if this thing's good. Wow, we got lightning damage. Wow, that's amazing. Awesome. Okay, so right now I'm going to swap to this one because it is 3 linked, which means, you know, it's random if you get this, okay? And if you ever want to check what's the DPS looking like, well, if I hit C as in cat, I can open up this, and I'm just going to look at my damage per second on my regular attack here. So you can see my damage per second is 141 versus 125. Now, it's important to check on the skill, but my skill is tied to this specific like bow that has the socket. So right now I can see my ice shot is doing 181 DPS. Now if I go swap the gems, I can check out what the DPS is looking like for ice shot, and now I'm at 203. Now it's a small increase. However, what we're also not factoring is now I can throw in that Mirage Archer support, and boom, I'm going to get way more DPS. Now the DPS will not show up in here when I put in my Mirage Archer, but Mirage Archer is super big DPS. Also, at the very end of these, you're going to click on the Trial of Ascendency, and you're going to go through the portal, and it's going to put you at the start of it.
I'm not up to that just yet.
You just started PoE 2 for the first time, you're level 10. How do I level up the fastest? Well, you got to go through the campaign regardless. I mean, you could get what's called a carry, and they can carry you through the campaign as quickly as possible, but if you're just started, you're not going to have the currency to have someone escort you through the whole game. So just go through the campaign, brother, and there's not really like a very specific fastest way to level up. It used to be getting a lot of things that had to do with like XP at the end game, but again, if you're only level 10, then you just got to do the campaign, brother. Ideally, try not to be 5 levels over the area, but I mean, in this league right here, it's very possible to do that. But yeah, having this Mirage Archer is excellent. Now we have this extra point. So what are we going to get now? I really like it depends on what you want to go for. I actually am going to stick around with Ice Shot right now, and I really like getting these nodes earlier on because we're also going to go towards this mana section. So this one gives us extra HP, but this one gives us strength and intelligence. This one over here, this gives us increased attack speed, so it's not really that bad if I wanted to go that way as well. And then we can go here. There's actually several different ways that you can go. I actually, like I said, I like attack speed the most. So I'm going to go this way. But this is not a bad option if you still need it and you would just meet up, because this one also gives you attack speed. But we're going to go this way over here, and this can give us extra resistances, and it gives us elemental damage to attacks. I just kind of want to rush to get our mana problem solved ASAP. So I'm going to go this way. Sometimes you got to kind of play it, but by whatever gear that you have. Conjure a wall, okay. Oh, so this one we're fighting the waves.
My mana is gone.
Ah, okay, I see how it works. There's a mini-map. Oh, can we not go over here? We're not allowed to go past that for some reason. Oh, I think so. We're supposed to protect her, right? But now our DPS is so good that, like, I think we're fine. But our first goal is to solve mana problems because our DPS is A-okay. So I'm going to save the these little, like, options that we have. Okay, so that was success. Okay, cool. We have a quiver. All right, let's see if this quiver is actually any good. I tried to pick up... Oh, we want that one because it's a blue-green linked one. Oh, well, wherever it is. It's gone now. But sometimes picking up items just to sell is worth it. And we can actually use a portal. And I'm not going to go through... I'm going to pick up these, though. Ooh, we got an Orb of Alchemy. That's really good. I'll grab all of these. Oh, out of room. Okay, we can go back to Linus Watch. I think there's a new update also. Oh, this is a large flask. That's really good, actually. So these are actually super rewarding to 100% do all of these now. Before I was saying like the very first one wasn't very good, but now I would say it's probably worth it. So I'm going to go get rid of all of this excess stuff in my inventory right now. And my goal is going to be to get extra currency. And then we'll get like some extra reward. So we can run what's called Mana Forged Arrows, which is pretty cool because how it works is once I spend a certain amount of mana, it's going to activate another skill for basically free. There's also these other gems that we can grab that can give us bonuses, but I want to grab Mana Forged Arrows right now, and when I get something that we can sock it in, I'll show you guys what that looks like. So let's go grab this. Actually, we may be able to mod these gloves. Let's see. Let's go sell all of our stuff that we don't need. Oh, also, there's supposed to be a new way to identify items, right? I think there's a new thing. Oh, where's the NPC? Maybe he doesn't unlock till later. But as far as I'm aware of, there should be like a way to identify items for free now. Right? Is this not? There's re-specialization. Okay, so I guess maybe that NPC comes out later. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure they said that we're supposed to get free ways to identify items, which is excellent. So I'm going to get rid of all of these items. And if you identify items, they tend to sell for more. What does this one do? This is a little bit more damage, and it's got HP. So I'm going to get rid of this. I mean, this one has a pretty decent amount of armor, which isn't too bad. Our current thing is okay because it gives us lightning res. Increased elemental damage is 5%. Which is like, it's okay, but... How much does this give us? 23 HP? Yeah, I think it's much better. Yeah, let's just go keep that for now. And then remember how I was saying, guys, we want to get these sapphire rings. These are really important to get. And I would ideally want them to be a white one so I can use an essence. Do I have an essence to show you? Oh, I have an alchemy. We might use the alchemy on it later, but we want to get the white ones. So one right here. And they'll always pretty much have sapphire rings, so the other one kind of sucks. Whoops, I bought the... Oh, my bad. About the bad one. So 26. If you hold Alt, it'll tell you the highest roll. So it rolls from 20 to 30. I have two rings right now, and I'll save them to modify later. But we're gonna go back to the upper prison and just kind of continue here. How much is the new expansion? Oh, this is all free, by the way. Yes, Path of Exile 1 is 100% free, and no buy into early access here. But yeah, from the upper prison, we're gonna go. And we're going to find a pirate soon. But yeah, like I said, Act 1 is the longest act in our play session because there's so much stuff that I need to stop and explain because it helps out to like have all the knowledge of this game. We're going to keep on going. One of the more annoying things in the earlier stages of Path of Exile, this is even with Path of Exile 2, is like just the mana. It's just, I hate it. But I'll solve the mana problems pretty much as soon as we can. you'll see very soon, mana will no longer be an issue, and it's so much better in Path of Exile 1 to solve it. So like whoever was talking about, like what are the major differences between PoE 1 and 2? It's basically the speed and quality of life. PoE 1 has way better quality of life. Oh, this guy's tanky, so let's go throw out some ballistas. There we go. Ooh, wow, we got 2 orbs of alchemy in Act 1. That's really big. Like getting 1 on average when you complete the whole Act 1 is kind of normal. There's a strong box over here. I'm gonna go open up these. Oh, sometimes you may see these little like side areas, like there's a chest over here, and like I had to click on a little switch. Now this one that we can identify, and you can see this one detonates in nearby corpses. If I didn't know that, I could actually die to this because I would just kill the monsters and then it would detonate the corpses and then I die in 1 hit. It's the one, what's kind of mean to be honest, especially like early on, but it's just kind of the way this game is. Ooh, I got a Quicksilver Flask. That is very good. Now I can run 2 of these. And we can also modify these. So just like items, you can modify items. So I'm going to throw on these 2 transmutations. Now we have extra charges. We have avoid being shocked. And then we have an augmentation, which will add a blue modifier to a blue item. Now, blue items can only have 2 stats, but I'm going to go ahead and throw this one on. And then I think, can we get away with 1 mana flask? Let's try it. Because I like having as many Quicksilver Flasks as possible because I want to go fast, man. Also, if you see that bleed icon, dang, it's kind of hard to show off because it's so fast. But if anytime that you have a bleed, it kind of looks like a red silhouette of like a man. If you see that mod on your character, sometimes it's better not to move because how bleed works in Path of Exile, it's a debuff where you will be taking damage over time. And if you move, you actually take increased damage while bleeding. So sometimes it's better to hold still if you're affected by bleed. But for the most part, how I play the game is like I just YOLO just go in, and we can worry about survivability towards the end game. Don't worry too much about it during the end game, the early game. Just tank it. If you die, it's 100% okay. There's people that have been playing this game and have thousands and thousands of hours. Even some of the best players, sometimes you die to something that's literally RNG, or it'll be like 3 stacked mods that just kind of ruin your character. Whereas like you get hit with a bleed, you get hit with like a shock, and you get hit by like all these other things all at once. We just got an amulet, so that's kind of cool. We can throw a transmute on this to see if we hit something good. We got increased crit. We can also throw on what's called an alteration. So alteration rerolls it. And anytime I'm showing you guys, don't feel like, oh, I gotta do this thing that he's doing. I'm just teaching you the game because there's just too much to teach you guys in a short amount of time. So I'm gonna reroll because our crit strike chance is so low that doesn't matter right now. Now I have increased spell damage, this is still trash. 1 to 2 physical damage. Woo, let's go. That's good, actually. And we have another passive point, so let's go throw that in. So this one can give us increased attack speed. It also gives us melee strike range. It honestly is just used for the attack speed, but I'm going to skip out on it. I'm just going to go for this because I want to rush getting this. Essence Sap is something I rush every single time because Essence Sap means I don't have to touch mana potions, and then we're pretty much done with mana. So now we're in the upper prison. This is a boss. He's actually quite challenging. His name is Brutus, but our build is so OP, it just doesn't matter. So you're just going to follow the trail of blood. If you see these little chests, you can always open them up as you go along. Welcome. What build is this? Right now we're playing Ice Shot, but it's any elemental bow. You could play anything. In fact, in the end game, you don't even have to play bow. As long as it deals elemental damage, this is like a very free build. So you can see, like, we're taking down this boss super fast. A lot of people that are playing melee absolutely cry on this boss because he can have spikes come out. But as long as you move and you shoot, you'll be A-okay. So now we have some boots here. Let's see if these are good. Oh, no movement speed. If the boots do not say increase movement speed, you don't even need to read the rest. It's garbage. That's just how this game is. Now, if you're doing very, very specific content in the super far end game, there are exceptions. But for the most part, yeah, if it doesn't say movement speed, you just skip it. There's another one of these little like mechanics here. Like I said, I think so far these have been worth it. So we can summon.
Fight them off while I handle this.
So we are a level 13, and this is a level 10 area. So we're actually getting too much XP. But that's like, it's technically, like, again, you don't want to be 5 levels over the area because then you get like a bigger XP penalty. But it really isn't that big of a deal. Until like very, very far in the game, because the XP gets really bad if you keep on playing it in an area that's too low. But like for the campaign, it probably won't matter too much. And the reason why I'm saying it's not going to matter as much is because I want to be able to try out the new like mechanics as we progress. And since we have that new area, oh, so that area only opens up for the first time. Okay, I see how this works. So we're gonna make a portal, and I'm gonna try to engage with the new content, and we can talk to the NPCs because we completed some quests as we progress, and it's gonna give us some rewards. Like right now, we can get precision, we can get smoke mine, blink arrow, whirling blades. This is what's called an aura, and I'm just gonna show you guys what the aura does.
Farewell.
Let's remove. We're gonna keep dash for sure. I want shrapnel. Actually, I want all these right now, so I guess we're not yet.
Yes?
But if you ever want to, whoops, let's go identify this in case we get movement speed. We got 10%, that's good. What else do we get? Cold res, that's good. Increased rarity. Okay, this is good. This is an upgrade. Small upgrade. Oh, but I lose out on the color. Ooh, I'm gonna lose out on my dash. Now, is that worth it? Well, these are energy shields, so them rolling green, it's quite slim. So this is just armor. Let's go sell this and let's see if we can get something better. I don't have to have dash. It's not the end of the world if we don't have it, so. But how about these gloves? I could use an alchemy to try to get something better off of this. But let's see if the NPC has something better that we can get. Again, I'm looking at these. Oh, we don't have a Scroll's Wisdom.
Greetings.
I can always check this guy out as well for armors. Okay, this one has... Oh, this one's got really good colors. This one over here, this light brigandine over here, I like that. That's probably what we're going to lock in and grab. This helmet could be good too, though, considering it's hybrid. And this one's giving us increased strength, so it might be good to have that as a requirement. Because our helmet, it gives us cold res. The stats on it are pretty low in terms of like what it's giving us. So I might go with this just because it has like good colors. And I probably wouldn't recommend using an Orb of Alchemy on it, but for the sake of showing you guys what this does, it's kind of like a essence, but what it does is it's going to not care about like it's not going to give us that, like if it's gloves, it gives us like X, Y, and Z. So let's see what we got with this. We got some extra lightning resist. Okay, cool. It's not bad. And the reason why I wanted this is like I don't really want to play without dash. But this one is 3 links, so maybe there could be a red gem if I go to the NPC and check, and I can type in the word support, and maybe we can get something good here, like there's added fire damage support. Now, I can't really make great use out of that one because I don't have the requirements, but added fire damage is an okay stat. Like it's just free elemental damage, and it is based on the physical damage that you deal. So that one could be okay if I wanted to throw it in. Actually, if I had room. Right now, we have dash, so I'm going to move dash over here with shrapnel, and then I'm going to throw this one in here, and now we have shrapnel plus momentum. Ooh, we have mana forged arrows too. Hold on, I'm going to show you guys this. I like this a lot more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in galvanic arrow, and I'm also going to throw in mana forged arrows. And now how this works is it's going to automatically activate galvanic arrow once we spend a certain amount of mana. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go, I'm going to check out this thing because I want to show you guys how this works. All right.
Greetings.
So let's see if this, like, is it going to give us extra, like, rewards? How does this work? I think we need to get more what's called graft blood. So we just got to play more. And then, can we socket these things? Okay, because this is all, like, brand new. So we have 50 graft blood. Oh, is this how it works? Graft items. So maybe we need to get more. Because I have a bunch of these, but I don't have the requirements, I guess, to open the rewards yet. So we'll just go back to town here, and then we'll go through the portal. Don't worry about checking out this stuff, because some of this stuff is going to be very new to everyone. Are there any Shadow or Templar builds yet? I mean, there's builds for a lot of people upload build guides before the season comes out, but literally right before the update came out, they just nerfed a skill by like they divided the skill's damage. It's 1/7 of what it used to be. So I try not to because Path of Exile sometimes they like to troll. Like just like any game, sometimes they're like, oh wait, hold on, last second, they just changed something. Later we're gonna activate this seal. It's not really important to engage with right now, but it's just part of the like story progression. But every once in a while, it's going to activate that galvanic arrow once we again spend that amount of mana. But yeah, that's why I like this Mirage Archer. It's just excellent because it just kills stuff for us. You can see our damage is really smooth right now. Our character feels like it's powerful, which I like. I'm playing these action RPGs. I like to feel powerful ASAP. In Path of Exile, you can get really strong, and you can basically dominate the entire campaign if you know what you're doing. And with this build, it's going to be easy. But yeah, from Prisoner's Gate, we're going to keep on progressing. looking for the new area. And again, you can hold down, like I hold down Q and W while I'm playing. Now our mana's like a little bit better. It's like we're killing stuff so fast I don't have to attack it for very long. And with the Mirage Archer, lets me focus in on like getting loot and opening up the chests while everything kind of dies, which is excellent. If you see any of these are Vol side areas, don't worry about doing them. It's not worth it. You want to try to get to the end game, because the earlier stages of the game, well, you don't really get that increased item rarity and all the stuff that you would want. Like, all the good loot is pretty much at the end of the game. Just like, you know, Diablo or any action RPG. Like, the good loot is at the end of the game. Which I think makes sense. You shouldn't have, like, the best items at the lowest level. That really wouldn't make sense. Ooh, that's a little bit dangerous. But yeah, now we have that extra galvanic arrow, and I don't even have to summon the little turrets. Now, the turrets aren't bad to run. If I had another socket, I would still run the turret just for distraction. It's actually really great. Because there are some bosses, they'll shoot like a giant beam, or they'll do something that's going to one-shot your character. And if you happen to have, you know, a turret, well, the turret will just absorb the one-shot for you. It doesn't matter how much HP the turret has, because it's going to, you know, absorb that one-shot. It's worth it. Now, you can make the turrets tankier, I'm sure, like, as you level them up, but for the most part, it doesn't really matter too much. What we should actually do I still have Burning Arrow? I might have gotten rid of it. Okay, cool, I still have Burning Arrow. We can do Burning Arrow instead of Galvanic, because Galvanic has a limited range, and the other one, it's a lot longer, so it's going to be good for a little bit of bosses over here. Love the videos, keep them up. Thank you, Tim, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Path of Exile's free. Path of Exile 1. Path of Exile 2 you have to play. But what's up, John White? Classic Lightning Arrow. Yeah, dude, I love Lightning Arrow. But Ice Shot is really good as well. It's kind of up to you what you want to play. I like Ice Arrow until I get Lightning Arrow. We get Lightning Arrow pretty soon, right? It's like 12 or a little 14 right now. I believe after this quest we can get some extra stuff. I'll show you guys the extra stuff very soon. Alright, so this is Fargraves. We don't have to talk to him. Okay, but we do want to try to get the waypoint. Alright, so in the ship graveyard, this waypoint is actually important, because it gives us a skill point. And we want all the skill points as we do the campaign. Now, there's two different ways to approach it. For beginners, I just think it makes way more sense to do the skill point quest lines as you level up, because it just makes the whole campaign a little bit easier. And it's like, if you're finished with the game and then you walk back to do the skill points, the whole level is like a lot lower in area level, so therefore you get like no XP. I'd rather get the XP now, but they're both valid strategies, to be honest, because again, all the good stuff is towards the very end anyways. Alright, so it looks like we can click on these buttons and it gives us extra like DPS or like heals. I know one of them was to heal her. So I like how you don't have to kill every single monster. It's basically just kill enough monsters. And this is the new mechanic. It's pretty self-explanatory. Like, it's really easy. Sometimes the new League mechanics are like so confusing, genuinely, and it's like, what the heck? Okay, we got a chromatic orb. Cool, and I'll show you guys what that does eventually when the time is right. There's a topaz ring for lightning damage. In case we do a lightning boss, and I need it, but it's fine. I probably won't even use it. So some of these points, they'll just give you like dex, but we're going to go straight over here and solve mana problems. So from the ship graveyard, we go to the ship graveyard cave. This is where we want to go. And then we're going to go back. This one has detonate. If you see detonate corpses, that means, well, it's going to detonate the corpses. So be careful. Ooh, Druid Sword. Oh, we got a massive shrine. So this is just like the shrines in Diablo. It's another one of these things. I'm going to skip out on some of these. I don't think that they're bad to do, but I want to progress Act 1 a little bit faster. The first one is always like an hour plus, and then the rest of them, they'll be about an hour, sometimes a little bit less. But just the first act is quite long, so I'll skip out on doing the mechanic. But I actually don't think it's that bad to do it. It's just that, like, right now we're level 15, this is level 12, so obviously, again, we get less stuff. But let's just progress in the game. Because, like, this, it's like, even though it's only like 30 seconds or whatever, it's probably just better to get to the end game. So we click on the slave girl. Oh, we're frozen. This elite over here can freeze you, so you want to watch out. Oh, I want that chainmail vest though. Hold on, that could be an upgrade. All right, let's keep it going. So yeah, once you get the quest item is called the All Flame from the girl, and then what we're gonna do. Oh, this is actually pretty close by. Oh, wow, they put us right next to Fargraves that time. So the reason why I like the waypoint is because it makes it easier to find Fargraves. So you talk to him, and then he tries to attack you, and we're gonna get a skill point. So what's this one? It's a decent amount of life regen though, but the stats on it are pretty weak. So. So after killing him, there's going to be a quest, and the reason why I open up that is so we can go back to town ASAP. And then boom, he's done, and then we just go back. Corpse explosion. Ah, yeah, corpse explosion. I think it's called detonate dead. Pretty much same thing. And then we get like a reward for the skill point quest. Oh, sometimes you have to play inventory Tetris, and then right click on that, boom. And then we're going to go, oh, also, you can control click on the NPCs to open up the trade menu. Eventually, I'm going to start doing things way faster, but it's like, I try to slow it down because I know sometimes it's like, I've been playing this game for so long, I can do things so much faster, but for the guide, I try to slow things down. All right, important thing. So if there's any good rings that you may want, again, cold res, I already have 2 of these ready. I don't need to equip them right now. I'm just kind of waiting for the bosses because I'd rather get the DPS right now. But we can also look at auras. So there may be some auras that we want. Oh, we don't have any transmutations. Now, if you're like, oh, I don't have some of these, I can go to the NPC and be like, okay, well, how do I get transmutations? Or how do I get, whatever. This one costs 7 portal scrolls. So how do I get portal scrolls? Well, portal scrolls are 3 scrolls of wisdom. Everything kind of costs its own sort of currency, and it takes time to build up. But later, you won't have to worry about these small currencies. You're going to get so much of this, it doesn't matter. But I did want to get 1 aura if we could. We don't have any we have 1 transmute shard over here. Unfortunately, let's see. Do we have? No. It's just unfortunate we don't have it because I really want to show you guys an aura, but basically uses up our mana. But let me see if I have. Do we get lightning arrow? Oh, we have galvanic arrow right now. There could be some other things if you want to check out for any other like skills. You can type in like the keyword bow and see if there's any like bow skills that you would want to try out. Again, as long as it's elemental or as long as it's not chaos damage, is totally fine. You can try out whatever. But we got rid of some of our trash items, and then now we're gonna go back to the ship graveyard. Hello, Valdis. What build is this? Right now we're playing Ice Shot, and eventually we're gonna go into Lightning Arrow. So yeah, from ship graveyard we're gonna exit. I'm gonna try to guess it's on the top right. Let's see if we get lucky. Usually the objectives are like in opposite directions, but Pirate's Treasure. Ooh, what do we get? Nothing good. Oh, is there an elite over here? Okay, wow. Ooh, that guy did big DPS.
My mana is gone.
But you can see our mana is definitely having issues. But like I said, we'll solve mana issues. And almost every build in the very beginning is going to have this issue where like you just don't have mana, man. Also, another thing that's important to mention is when you pop the Quicksilver Flask, you don't want to pop 2 at the same time. You don't get like double of the movement speed or anything like that. I wish that worked like that, but it's not how it works. Later, we're going to be zooming across the entire screen, but the first act, like I said, is like the longest and it takes the most time. This is a new season. Yeah, the new season just came out, man. It just came out about an hour ago, man. And I would say the new season is pretty rewarding. It's fun. This is 3 link. That's 2. If it was 3 link, we would definitely pick it up. If it was 3 green, that's actually a pretty nice thing to get. We currently have a 3 green right now, which is awesome. Pick up the Scrolls of Wisdom, and then maybe we'll get that thing pretty soon. I hope the exit's not over there. Sometimes like that small sliver is where you need to go. Now, I'm pretty sure it should be up here because this is showing off one of the little, what's called like a Vol side area. They're good to do towards the end of the game if you juice up some maps and stuff, but I don't do them during the campaign ever. The reason why is I find them to be not worth it for your time because in the very end you can get 6 links actually quite easy from doing those. But it's much better just to play the game. You'll get your 6th link eventually. Okay, so what we're doing now is go to the Cavern of Wrath. And we're going to be coming up to, this is the final boss of Act 1 right now. pretty soon, pretty soon. The key to a lot of the enemies in this game is honestly like shoot once and move, shoot once and move. We're almost there, man. Almost there as far as getting that. And you can go a couple different ways. Sometimes, again, it's up to you on the way you path, but most of the time it'll be very similar. And again, the pod will be like pretty much the same kind of gear that you'll get, because like if I show you guys to get certain gear, it's just random if it drops or not, right? So don't worry about it if the exact gear that you have when I show you guys like the little like planner of like what you should be getting, because it's all random. But try to follow it, and if it's your first time playing, follow the skill tree and everything pretty much to a T, and it will make your life way easier. As like we're breezing through the game. Haven't had any deaths, which is great. But usually, to be honest, like I don't die during the campaign. It's only if we do the new league mechanic and it's overtuned and you just get one-shotted, and then they post on everyone complains on the forums. It's very common, by the way, for Path of Exile to overtune the league mechanic. Right now, it actually has too many monsters. It's like actually too hard. But like we haven't died on it because this build's OP. But for like any melee build, I feel like there's just too many monsters. And like if they maybe made the monsters really slow, that'd be okay. But like we could, let's see, how fast is this thing? Because like if you're playing melee, it just feels so bad to get surrounded by all these monsters, especially since that one has like an aura that slows you. It has a hinder aura. This has extra life. Like that's mean for a new player, right? That wasn't playing a good build, because our build will freeze them with Ice Shot, right? That's what Ice Shot does, and it didn't take too long to do, but I don't think it's bad for rewards. It's just mainly that I want to progress the game, so I'm gonna skip out on those. But the ones where it has like the monsters that come in, it's way faster than the defend one. But maybe the defend one gives you better results in terms of rewards, according to time. Do I think Toxic Rain is going to be good? You know, I'll be honest, I think every single build in PoE 1 is pretty viable. Same thing with PoE 2 for the most part. There are a couple skills that aren't really ever meant to be big damage dealers. Like, I love Eye of Winter, but in PoE 2, Eye of Winter is used to activate crit versus like its main source of a damage dealer. But in PoE, in general, you can make everything good. Like you can play everything to endgame. Heck, people have made basic attack builds with no sockets in their whole build just to be like, oh, I'm gonna do it, man. Hey, that's cool. And you can beat the whole game with basic attack if you want to. Now, is it smart? Probably not. But like, if you put in time, you can make everything somewhat playable. Like, to be fair, like I love Diablo, but there's a lot of Diablo skills that are so bad that like they've been buffed like 50 different times, like rabies, and it's just like no good. But in Path of Exile, if you play the game for a while, you will kind of learn certain things, and you're like, okay, this can work with this, and you can make a good build. Now, we're probably not going to replace our helmet. Got 7 of these, nice. But we will definitely equip both those rings before going in. I have 1 transmute, ooh, cool. So we can get a aura called Clarity for our mana. So I'm going to actually grab that really quick before we fight the boss. Actually, we can just get it right now. The reason why is because like it's gonna make my fingers easier, because I don't have to push the flask button. But we will solve mana problems very soon. So we're gonna talk to Anessa over here. We get a reward, so we can get Toxic Rain, which is what you were just talking about. Then we get also Lightning Arrow, which is the fan favorite skill. I like this skill a lot. I'm gonna go. Ooh, Siege Ballista is really good too. You can also get Lightning Strike. Elemental Hit is all very, very powerful while leveling. I really like this skill. I think this skill is probably one of the best ones for DPS. I have enough to get both. I'm just gonna see what the damage is looking like. So I'm gonna get Elemental Hit as well as Lightning Arrow. Because we're gonna unlock it anyways. And then do I have enough for the? Oh dang! I need 1 more transmute. Alright, there we go. If we sell unidentified yellow items, we can get transmute, and then we can go purchase the aura. Okay, so we have Clarity, we have Vitality, and I'll show you guys what Vitality does. I love having Vitality, and both, they're all pretty good, to be honest, while leveling. Can I run both? Oh, I'm so close to running both. I just need another unidentified item. But it's so lame that we're like 19. Oh, this alteration charge, transmute, we're 9 out of 20. Okay, so I'll get Vitality just so I can show you guys, because I don't really have room for it like some of the other ones. But I'm going to show you guys how it works. So this is our first aura that our character is getting, and I'll show you how the mechanic works. So how the mechanic works is we activate it, and it doesn't have to be on this bar. I can hold control and get a whole nother bar, but what it does is it just activates, and now I get 12 life per second. That's what it does. But it's not just free. See how it says reserve 40? So that means we have 40 less mana while we're playing the game. Like, our maximum mana is reduced by 40, but in return, well, that's what we get. So it is a give and a take, but this is where we may not want to upgrade this, because if we upgrade it, it will cost and reserve more mana as we upgrade it. I like having a level 1 Vitality while playing the game just to get extra regen. You can also run Clarity to get mana regen. But it's up to you on how much you want to upgrade your thing. So now what I plan to do is I'm going to equip these rings over here, because we want to be cold resistance. If I did have some other things to modify these, do we have an alchemy? We have an alchemy. We could use that, but that's fine. I feel like I don't really need it over here. So we're coming up to the first boss. Do I have that ballista over here? If I had room for that, I'd throw that in too. Anyways, this is why we want cold res, because this boss has cold damage. This is actually one of the more difficult bosses in the game, but just move and shoot, and you will be a-okay. Don't walk in that, though. That is a big damage. And it will also potentially slow and freeze you, and that's no good. So just attack and move. I'm not even kidding when I say this is one of the hardest bosses in the entire game. The reason why is because in the very beginning, you really just don't have the damage to like delete the boss. But also in the very beginning, because you get slowed so frequently, and then also like mana is just a big issue in PoE, just how the game is. We could have also gotten Clarity to help out with that, but I like to just kind of see, like, you know, what the boss can do. So I feel like we probably could have gotten away with Clarity and no problem at all. But if you have no more mana, you could just use your regular attack. I know it sucks, but at the end of the day, this is how the game is in the earlier stages. And don't stand in front of the little geysers that come up. Again, the reason why this boss is like a lot more difficult is that summons adds. It's very strong for a new player, but later, again, it won't be that big of a deal. And it also has 2 phases. And you have these things that will explode on you. It's actually just, it's really mean, but Path of Exile is meant to be a harder game, but this is like one of the harder bosses, and it's like in the very, very beginning. And boo, you got a bow. And anything that we could potentially use, we can grab. Let's see, what is this? 8 to 20. Unfortunately, it's not as good as our current one. What else can we use? We can maybe use his helmet. I like this because of the linkage. So let's go continue. And now we're going to go to Southern Forest. So we're pretty much at the end of Act 1. We don't really need to click on this. They made an update, but now I've been playing the game for so many years, it's just natural instinct to click on them. But you do not need to click on those. And so our Vitality is about to level up. You can see on the right side, this little like red gem. We do not really want to upgrade it. And you can upgrade it a couple times, but I would recommend just keep it level 1, to be honest. And the reason why is because you're just getting it for a small amount of regen to help out with any sort of recovery, so you don't really need to hit the potions. Let me pick up the heavy belt. That gives us HP. Ooh, this is an elite. See how much damage you just chunked us for? And now we're affected by some dot. And again, that Vitality is just going to help out with that. Look, this league is very rewarding in terms of currency. Like, honestly, we're getting so many jeweler orbs earlier on. But what we're getting here is going to be Essence Sap. This is also really good. Gain 3 mana per enemy hit by attacks. I don't know if we're going to get enough mana from this, but if we need to get this, we can get that. And there's another thing that's really good called life, or percent of leech is instant. This one is really good. You can also get increased evasion while leeching. This is called a mastery. After you get the big node, so you can see how this one is kind of like bigger. After you get the big node, you can get what's called a mastery. So we can pick from any one of these. Now, which one do I recommend? Oh, that 5% of leech is instant is one of the best things in the entire game, because it's going to make it so the whole game feels way better. But we're going to have much better progression in part 2 in terms of our power is going to go way higher in part 2. But anyways, that was the end of Act 1, part 1 of our PoE playthrough. And again, if you need the planner, this is the one that I had over here. And sometimes I end up changing because we actually gained way more levels than the previous one. This is kind of like what I have as a template, because I played this game so many times and I used the thing from the last league in terms of our progression. But we actually gained way more levels, but you can see it's pretty much identical. However, I will make adjustments to it, and everything will be in the pin for all of the planners, and I'll consistently update each one. Again, this is going to be for the Act 1, and some of the gear may differ a little bit, but I'm going to copy the POB with a program, and it copies the exact characters. That way I just copy and paste, and that way you guys will have an up-to-date one. But I just had this already created before I made the video, but this one will reflect the newest one. And if these do get changed a little bit, keep in mind I'm always going to be updating it, so if something changes a little bit, it's because I have updated the planner. But anyways, that's going to be it for Part 1, Act 1 of our PoE walkthrough beginner's full guide. If you guys enjoyed it, drop a like on it, and I'll see you guys in Part 2 very soon.